thanks for checking out my podcast. I'm very excited to have Andrew Santino on today. But before we get into it, just want to remind you that you can go to allymakovsky.com/shows to see where I'll be performing. I'm going to be in Denver, January 20th through 22nd, San Francisco, February 3rd through February 5th. I'm going to be doing my own show, Ally Makovsky and Friends in Los Angeles, February 8th at El Cid. I'll be in Corpus Christi, February 11th, February 12th. I'll be in Sacramento in March, and I'll be in Philadelphia in March as well. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I love Andrew Santino. I'm sure you're all here because you do too. And without further ado, here's the episode. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. We have a great guest today. My friend, my hero, my everything, Benjamin, the dog I just got. And Andrew Santino also happens to be here, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
You know what I noticed?
Huh?
You have red hair.
It's so funny that you say a lot of people don't notice it.
Yeah.
Most people I don't think notice it.
First thing I noticed when I saw you.
Yeah, tonight.
Tonight. I've hung out with you a
For
lot.
Like 4 years or 5 years.
And
yeah.
I just was like, whoa, this
Yeah,
man.
it does go pretty unnoticed, I'll be honest with you. It's like anything
It's
else.
subtle.
Like
it's a subtle red.
Yeah, it's like a hair lip or like if someone has had reconstructive surgery on their jaw after like a terrible car accident and you don't notice it.
It takes you a minute.
Until you notice it.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
No, I noticed that so many people, when I posted about having you on the podcast, like make some sort of joke or comment about you being a redhead.
Oh, what did they say?
The classics, what's it like not having a soul? How did South Park, whatever. But it's just interesting because you would think at a certain point in development as an adult, you would stop
making bad jokes?
Making bad jokes.
No, that kind of circulates through society, never ending. The ginger stuff, it's fuel for the fire of the fools. If you're not a smart person, it is a good joke.
Do you feel like you have to come up with something, like say after a show? Because I imagine people after shows will also say this to your face.
I tell people,
do you have like stock lines?
First of all, it's always men.
Of course,
it's never a woman. It's always a man that says, "Does the carpet match the drapes?"
Yeah.
And I will always respond with, "You do realize you're a grown man asking about my penis hair," and then they feel very uncomfortable for a little while. But that's really what it is. You're asking about the hair around my genitals. It's gross.
So show everyone. Patreon. Go.
You see the red bush?
Do the paywall.
Yeah, I have of course I have red pubes. What would they be? Could you imagine? Just jet black pubes, curly black, like
I like to imagine they're blonde, like a child's blonde, where there's like the little sparkles of golden in the blonde.
He's got blonde pubes, I know it.
No, my
Do you
boyfriend
really?
Yeah.
Show me now. You're off cam.
You want to see some?
Yeah, his hair's really weird. Like my boyfriend on his
your hair
legs.
is blonde.
Down the middle, different colors.
Yeah.
It's a halfie? It's like a Neapolitan almost.
And his leg hair, one leg.
Oh, wow. It's dark on one side and it's blonde on the other. That's the weird. And then the dog comes running over as soon as you pull your penis out.
The dog has been trained Pavlovian style.
That's the bell ringing. And that's the dinner bell ringing is when your balls drop.
Daddy's dick is out. That means it's dessert.
When Papa's penis comes out, I get hungry. Where did you get this dog from, by the way?
We got him through a foundation that has a questionable reputation, so we do not shout them out.
Barking Bitches?
No.
Did you know about that place? Do you remember that place?
Yeah.
This is crazy. We were down there on that's Fairfax.
Yeah, or La Brea.
No, it's Fairfax.
Fairfax.
We were down on Fairfax and we were going to meet a friend at Golden State. This was years ago. And I was like, "Oh, let's go look at the dogs." And we looked at the dogs, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making this up. It sounds like out of a movie. The moment we walked in, this woman was blowing up, who worked there, on one of the dogs. And I'm not kidding, threw her. No. I swear to God on my life.
No.
And we were like, when you're like in such shock that you just don't say anything, where you're like, I was like, is this real? I couldn't believe it would happen. She just like threw her over there was a little gate like this big, and she threw her over the gate. And the dog landed on its side a little bit, and they got back up and was running around, and she was like yelling at one of the other workers, and we immediately bolted out of there. But I was like, do we need to call? Who do you call?
I know.
Who
So
would you call for animal abuse?
the district attorney, apparently.
The DA?
I guess so.
Because you can't call the cops. The LAPD will never do anything about it.
Also, how do you report? You're like, someone threw a
Dog, and then they'll go, goodbye.
Yeah.
That's what we thought the whole time when we were eating. I was like so bummed. I was like, what would we do? Who would you say anything to?
Yeah, it really bums you out because that's their job and it's a rescue. So you assume that the dogs are in better care than like a shelter.
Yeah, but obviously not. And also that place closed down, yeah?
It did?
I'm almost positive I walked by
Maybe.
it I walked down Fairfax one time and it had been gone. I think maybe the pandy got him.
Ah, yes, the old pandy.
Barking bitches. Nope, still open.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know my dad, he
Well,
got...
Not for long.
Not after this podcast
Not after this
comes
podcast.
out.
It bummed me out. I did not like it.
Yeah, the dog, when we picked up this guy, the lady who works at this foundation, like, it was raining out, and she just, like, had the dog out in the cold, and he was clearly scared, and my boyfriend was like, oh, can I just, like, put him in the car? Because we started fostering him first.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, should I just put him in the car for now? And she was like, he's got a coat on, fur coat. And it's like, sure, but also we have a warm car.
Yeah, a warmer car. Probably
Pulls
warmer
up
than the
driving
cold
in
rain.
her new Audi.
Whoa.
Animal shelter closed down. Now it's just a pet shop.
Hey, animal shelter turned pet shop.
That's
No bueno.
That's also the hard thing because
Capitalism, greatest country in the world.
yeah, they're like, we had to euthanize all of our pets, but you can still buy leashes for the ghosts.
Do you have any of these feelings for cats? Do you have any of these, like, this affinity for cats?
No.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't, but I can meet anybody's dog and I want to say hi, kinda, depending on, because some dogs are a little off-putting.
Fugly. Yeah, there's some fugly dogs.
If it's really ugly and it looks aggressive and like not fun to pet, but like more like you're gonna get wet.
yeah.
I'm a germaphobe and I don't want to get wet. If a dog is slippery,
Yeah.
big jowly, I'm not gonna pet him.
Yeah, especially if you're wearing like dark jeans, then you just have slobber marks all over.
And then I think about then I have goop on my hands, and immediately my brain is like, I have to wash my hands. But I am somewhat of a germaphobe. Like every time I eat food, I have to wash my hands
Really? At
Have to.
home? No.
everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, when I'm done eating something, the urge is like you should be washing your hands.
Yeah, see, I'm a dirty bitch.
No, I think most people don't do. You don't do that. Yeah, most people, because you have natural oils on your hands that clean them. But I just don't like the feeling of what food touches my hands.
Do you wash your hands after you go to the bathroom in your own home?
No, because I sit down to pee.
Yeah.
I sit down to pee. Yeah, I sit down to pee, so I don't ever touch anything anyway. I mean, but your penis is so clean. I think I seriously think that was a Seinfeld joke. I'm not kidding. Where he was like, "Why
Gerald?
would I?" Yeah, Gerald Seinfeld, Harald Seinfeld. Why would I wash my hands after I pee? My penis is the cleanest thing on my body. It's been enclosed out of the shower. You should wash your hands before you pee, before you touch your penis, which actually is very true.
Yeah.
Because we're not getting piss on our hands. This idea that mentioned is like, wash your hands after you pee. You don't hold it in front of it doesn't touch anything. It touches skin, and then you're done.
Did you know?
Unlike women who, when they pee, they hold their lips open.
Yeah, we have
and
to.
And they uncork it.
We
Get
have
the water
to.
flow
Or
going.
else it's like a hose with a rock in it. It just sprays everywhere. You have to part the lips
Yeah, it
for
splits.
a clean.
You
I
gotta
just
Part the Lips is the name of your next album, by the way. Part
parting
the lips.
Oh, I like that.
Tell me, what were you gonna say?
I just found out that women,
Boo.
gross me. If I lift up the top of my cooch, I can pee like a dude.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my boyfriend.
I feel like I've known that. You don't know
had
that?
no idea.
Why have you not known that? Like, have you
no
ever
one ever
did
taught
you ever go on
me.
a road trip and you had to piss on the side of the
just
road?
squat.
Yeah, but you never angled?
I never tried to angle.
Yeah, you should angle to get it away from your shoes.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I feel like if you go to concerts as a young man, you see women figuring that out.
Oh, that's cool.
You see women figuring out how to angle away on the whatever slope that they're using.
A lot of fish concerts you have to go to learn that type of skill.
A lot of fish, a lot of string cheese, a lot of Bella Fleck, dude. I was just jam band galore, dude.
Yeah.
Jam band galore. I didn't miss a jam band show. I've been to one.
In Dave, you wear a lot of Grateful Dead shit.
Dude, the amount of people that hit me up
Does
that are
everyone
like,
just
dude, are
think
you a
you're
real
dead?
fish? Are you a real fish head? And
Is it fish or Grateful Dead?
fish, huge
Oh, okay.
fish, because the guy I'm based on is a huge fish fan, like massive. We'll like go,
Yeah.
and I like those guys, but it's like a letdown for people to learn that I'm not a fish guy. That's that's a character.
I know. I feel bad because I like Grateful Dead merch. I like the designs.
You wore it and you
so I
didn't.
wore some shirts, and now I have like people with Deadhead in their Instagram names following me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Do you know any songs?
Yeah, of course.
Which one?
The
This doesn't work. You got to know way faster than that.
Come
on. He taught you a couple of them.
I know.
Touch of Grey. Casey Jones. I mean, there's
Casey Jones.
Yeah, there you go.
And the one that is this Casey Jones driving that train.
That's right.
High on cocaine.
Casey Jones to Grateful Dead is "Sex Is on Fire" for Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon.
Because Kings of Leon actually are incredible musicians. I think they're so fucking dope, and that song made me hate the band because of the people that loved Sex on Fire. I can't stand.
Yeah.
Bars have ruined songs. If you don't drink alcohol if you don't want songs to be ruined, because you'll go to a bar and you'll hear a song that you thought you used to like and then you'll fucking hate it. Or you hear a song that you do already hate and you hate it more, like Cake by the Ocean.
Ooh.
Oh, fucking right into traffic.
I love traffic music.
I hate that shit. And it would be at like random bars and clubs, especially if we're on the road and the comedy club is connected to a bar and you can hear that fucking shit all night. No thanks.
Vibe.
No, don't drink alcohol. It's bad for you, and it ruins music a little bit.
Did you lose your virginity to a song?
You know what's so funny? I spoke about this on someone's show. I busted my first nut to Bob Seger.
How old were you when you busted?
14.
That's pretty old.
When I no when I busted with somebody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Gene to Gene.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was dry humping.
Dry hump.
Uh-huh.
Man.
And man, do we get so wet. Boys get soaking wet. It stinks. And then you have to ride your bike home and I mean, it's like the circumference of wetness is, I mean, it's like a large pizza.
Yeah.
It's this whole thing in your body is soaking wet because it gets up a little bit from your pants being pushed against your body. It goes down some of your legs. It's sad.
Yeah.
But I nutted to Bob Seger.
That's really sexy.
It was hot, but my virginity, losing it, was in a hotel in Marco Island, Florida, and the condom broke.
That's scary.
I had to drag her out to the ocean and kill her.
Yeah, that's smart.
I didn't have a choice.
R.I.P. Sheila.
R.I.P. Sheila.
Yeah, that's scary. Is that like a situation where you tell your like mom or dad, you're like, hey, so
I panicked we panicked together for the next couple of months. We were high schoolers. We were losing our mind.
Yeah.
And thank God we were okay. But we both were, and I was bummed. I was like, is this it? I guess this is it. I'm going to
be a father.
I'm going to be a daddy, and but I knew.
And raise a Florida child?
No, she was also from Chicago.
Oh.
This was spring break, high school spring break.
Sexy.
I know, and then it was kind of sexy.
I was so crazy. I had a boyfriend in high school, and he would always...
Face the camera, please.
He would always pull... Like, I've never let anyone come inside of me. Boyfriend included. Not one...
Never once?
Single sperm has been inside of this puss.
Wait, really?
I'm so afraid
It has,
of
though.
it.
Slip a dip.
Probably a little,
it does come in
yeah.
before you know it, because there's some... there's a few guys that go scope it out before they let the rest of the soldiers go, you know?
But Mom has never had a pregnancy scare, thank God. But I'm so crazy that I will still be like, I'm pregnant.
Do you have birth control or no?
No.
Well, dude, you guys are riding a lightning right now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, good for you. But if he got you pregnant, you wouldn't give a shit.
Like,
he's a babe. He's got good genes. He's a good guy. You're in love.
Totally.
So then you let it happen.
Yeah.
And you have a baby. You keep it here in this studio. You give it some liquid death once in a while. Put that in a bowl.
Mix
let it
it
lick.
with its protein powder. That's what babies drink, right?
What do you think you're going to feel the first time you get to someone throws a rope inside of you?
I don't know. I'm so
excited?
scared. No.
Is he going to do it?
Yeah.
Let him do it.
Yeah, maybe I'll find someone on the street after this.
No. He's right here. Your boyfriend's right here.
Yeah.
I feel like you could let him do it. Of all people that deserve it.
But then I'm not on birth control, so what do? Just take the morning after pill?
No, you can track your cycle, so it's the least possible time.
I'm not good at math. That's not going to work.
It's not an app. It's the easiest thing in the world. It
Oh.
literally just shows you the day that is the impossible day.
Ooh.
And if you got pregnant on that day, well, then that is the Lord Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, telling you that you must.
Mother.
Even though you're Jewish, you know that's a baby from Jesus.
Yeah.
And
The
you know that's a
Jewish
baby
Jesus.
And you know that's a baby Jesus. But I lost my virginity and it was fun and scary and I yelled to the beach, I'm not gay.
That's nice.
Yeah, that was my instinct.
And the beach was like, we don't believe you.
Nobody believed me. They laughed.
Did people think you were gay growing up?
No, I never got that. This is so fun. This is so weird. Young Thug has a new album. I don't know the name of it, but I just put it on the other day in the car. And I listen to albums all the way through. I don't do this thing where I pick songs. If a new album comes out, I just let it play through. Hate it or love it. The underdog's on top. I'll just let the whole thing play from start to finish. But there's one song that's like emotional. And the first sentence is,
I know this.
I knew I wasn't going to be gay. I knew I wasn't going to be gay.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And then Drake has the song Girls where he's like,
don't get me into Drake conspiracy theory, dude. I'll open up a fucking.
What does he say? He's like, I'm not gay, but I can be a lesbian for you or something.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, he's like best friends with the girl from Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's really creepy.
Have you ever researched this stuff?
Yeah, it's very
It's
creepy.
a little, and then he like says a song, me and DeStefano talked about it on a podcast. He says a song where he's like, whatever her birthday is, like he's like, April 14th is the day of the glow up. And then I looked it up. It's her birthday.
It's very Michael Jackson.
It's very Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That sad interview with that British guy came up on TikTok the other day where he's like, you find nothing wrong laying in bed with children. And he's like, what's wrong with that? And he's like, Michael, clearly you can see that that's not appropriate. And he's like, how? You're making it sad and gross, not me. It's so weird that he twisted his mind to think it was totally chill.
That's like me when I have a bad set and I'm like, no, it was the shoes I was wearing. It has nothing to do with my comedy.
And I look down at your shoes, by the way. You have no penny loaves in the loaves? You have to put a penny in there for good luck.
Really?
Do you not know about that?
No. What is that? How old are you?
Oh, you millennial.
Listening to albums all the way through.
Imagine if a tooth just fell out in the middle of me laughing. Oh, no, that slot probably isn't there anymore, but where that little thing is,
yeah,
that's where you used to put a penny in when you had penny loafers as kids. He knows. He did
and
that.
And that just goes to show how the economy has changed.
Just another way whites are showing off how much money they have. They show you their shoes and they show you the money that they have in their shoes.
I just got these. I had to.
I like those shoes.
Thank you.
Those are cool. They're a throwback, by the way, to like my era. I know that's like when I was a kid.
It's coming back, Tyler, the Creator.
I know. He is by far the most impressively talented, both musically, artistically, and physical art. I do mean that.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed by him constantly. I think the way his mind works and the way he puts out art, whatever that means, like whatever you want to categorize. But I really, really enjoy him. I think his style is unique. I think he doesn't care about how you feel. I really like that. That's super rare. Most people are, even though they say they don't care, they're very, very calculated in the music world.
Yeah, 100%.
They're like, I don't give a fuck.
But the young kids fall for it. Because they're like, I also feel that way and don't care about anything. And it's like Tyler goes to meetings talking about what's, on deck for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you fall for it when you're a kid because you want to be in love with music so bad because you want an answer to all your like weird angst. I watched that Juice WRLD documentary. Did you guys watch it?
I watched the Lil Peep documentary.
The Juice WRLD one was just, it was just sad. I mean, sad is the main word.
Can I tell you a story about Tyler, the Creator?
Yeah, you can, of course. I like him very much.
Me too. I went to one of his concerts when I was in high school. This is like, right when he came out. He was performing at this small venue in Santa Ana.
What year were you graduated high school?
This was probably 2009.
You graduated in 2009?
No, I graduated 2013. Yeah.
How old are you?
28.
Much more of an adult.
Oh,
Full, like that's a full adult age.
I'm just a little baby. But I went to see Tyler, the Creator, and I loved the concert. I was looking on Instagram. I was looking at the tagged photos from the venue that he performed at to see other people's photos from that night.
Yeah.
And I clicked on one of the photos, and it was this cool guy. He had like V's instead of U's in his name.
Ooh.
He used like this, the pointy. I was like, this guy's different. He's dark. He's mysterious. And so I hit him up on Instagram. I said, hey, saw that you were at the, Tyler, the Creator show last night. Like, what's up? What's good? And we started talking a big game. You know, when you're in high school, you're like saying you'll do anal even though you've never had sex.
But you would.
But I would.
You would.
Anything to make a man happy.
Anything to please Lil Uzi Vert.
And so I went over to his place. I'm in like 9th grade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I go over to his place. He lives like an hour away from where I live. Or I guess I was 16, whatever. We meet up at the 7-Eleven by his house because obviously I can't come over. His parents are home.
Right.
And he hops in my Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Ooh.
And he's so ugly in person.
Oh.
He looks so different.
What's his name?
Clayton.
Clayton.
I don't know.
But the U's and the V, was that his rap name?
Clayton. No, it was just his name. It was CL like XYT.
Where do you think he is now, Clayton?
Probably still in Orange County somewhere.
But did you kiss?
So I didn't want to even look at him.
So you just blew him.
And I blew him.
You don't have to look at him when you're sucking. You
Yeah,
just put your head down.
Yeah.
You
It
didn't.
makes it a
And then
lot
what?
easier.
Nothing. He got nothing. You got nothing.
I got
out of
nothing out of it.
It. Yeah,
But that's
you
just
live,
the
you learn.
experience.
You live, you learn.
Yeah.
The first time that you guys had sex, was it powerful?
Well.
Was it Joe Rogan powerful?
Speaking of dry humps.
You guys dry humped the first time?
Yeah. We went on 2 dates first. And then the 3rd date we went back to his place. And then we dry humped.
To Weezer?
Oh yeah.
On vinyl.
On vinyl.
Oh,
We
that's
were on
hot.
vinyl.
What album?
Blue.
Yeah, that's great. You did it.
Yeah. So we did some good dry humping, and then I think on the 4th date or something, we boned.
Now on the 4th date, were you both knowledgeable that it was going to happen? Was it kind of like in the air? Was it like this is the fuck date?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't that funny? That's how humans are able to communicate sexually so heavily when they're both ready.
Yeah.
Like guys are almost always wanting to fuck, but if you're dating someone and you kind of really like somebody and you both start to date and you're like coming to this head together, you know there's like a final end point when you're going to fuck, but everyone's jumping different squares at different times. But the day it happens, you both know.
Yeah.
You just knew it was like this for sure. This is it.
Especially after a dry hump, that's kind of the precursor to figure
Could
out
be,
if you
or
got the.
that could have been the end. That could have been, this is bad. I don't like this. This is uncomfortable. I didn't like the way I felt.
And I told him, I was like, just so you know, I don't want you to get it twisted. This is just casual between us.
Damn, she hit you with one of those?
For 3 months.
Yeah, for
Holy
3 months. I was like,
shit.
no labels. Let's just have fun with it.
And he was persistent.
Yeah, I think so.
He was like, we should date. What are we doing? And you
Yeah.
were like done being a skank.
Yeah, I was done being a little slut. He whipped me
Because
into
when we
shape.
went on tour together, when you came and opened for me, I mean, it was like 6 or 7 guys a night.
Yeah, all at
It
once.
was nuts.
It was exhausting. It was like the shows were fun, but that was work. And then hooking up with 7 dudes was even more work. I didn't
You'd get
even
off
know.
stage and just be like, I just have so much more work to do.
Yeah.
And
It
I'd be like, your
was-
comedy's great. And you're like, no, I have to ride 7 dicks by midnight.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's 10:40.
Could we talk about how we met, which I don't really remember at all?
Oh, I met you at the Comedy Store for
Yeah.
sure. I had known you had done some Kill Tonys, and I'd seen you around a little bit. And then I think we officially met.
Oh, yes. I think we talked about this on your podcast.
Yeah.
Whiskey Ginger.
Whiskey Ginger, great show. I think we officially met, to the best of my knowledge.
In Arizona.
Yeah, in Arizona, right. in
Ari
Phoenix.
Manis was opening for you.
That's right.
I hit him up because I was doing some weird show.
And he said, this girl's going to come up. I think you know her. And Chappelle Lacey came too, right? Didn't Chappelle come?
No, this is just the 3 of us.
No, but I thought he stopped by to say hi. Did he not?
I don't remember. I don't think
Because
so.
he lived out. He's from out there, right?
Yeah.
He's those guys. But and then I thought, man, were you a nice, sweet, funny girl?
We went to the aquarium.
I went to the aquarium and you took a cool Polaroid of me that I
did.
still have on
Oh,
my
really?
on my work desk.
Cute.
I do. I have it.
That's
and then it was a
sweet.
car show. That was really fun.
There was a car show.
But that was the trappings of Northern Scottsdale are really hard because there was nothing to do. So we were trying to find stuff to
Yeah.
get into. And you don't drink, and Ari doesn't drink. So I was by myself drinking. It was a little tough.
Me and Ari were just staring at you like this alcoholic
Dad
bastard.
needs to stop. I've actually really kind of put down the booze.
That's good.
It's not, everyone's like, dry January. No, I go through chunks of time when I'm like, ugh, I don't want to. And Corona.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'll tell you what it has to do with it. Because drinking alcohol depletes your immune system drastically.
But
and
I feel like
many
you
of my friends that get sick, it's after a weekend out.
Yeah,
Because when you're drinking alcohol, your immune system is wide open for infection. Also, why people that have drunk, sloppy, hook up one night, sex get STDs because your immune system's wide open when you're drunk. So if you're gonna sleep around and you're gonna not wrap it up, you guys make sure you're sober. But I just felt like giving it up for a little bit, so I'll have like a glass of wine at dinner with her if we go. But like no. But lately, I just haven't been in the mood for just because I'm traveling so much. I'm like, I don't need to get sick. I'm on the road still.
Yeah.
I have 2.5 more months of this thing. I'm like, I just want to get this over with.
Where are you going next? You're going to a bunch of places right now.
When does this come out?
This comes out next week on Wednesday.
Next Wednesday?
Yeah.
This weekend, I'm in, this literal weekend. Tomorrow morning, I leave for Atlanta. I do Atlanta and DC. And then,
I've never been to Atlanta.
oh my God.
Is it fun?
I love Atlanta.
I want to go so bad.
This is going to sound bad, but the gay black scene there is the most fun. That's not going to sound bad. I just don't know how else to say that. The gay black scene there is amazing. Because the gay scene here in West Hollywood is mostly whites, which I don't.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of
And
whites
it's very
in general.
curated here.
It's extremely curated.
It's
yeah,
like
there
just a strip, and it's like kind of the same bar after bar. There's no like flavor
it's the same
to
hot
it.
buff guy.
Yeah.
It's the same hot buff guy here. There's significantly more of a black gay culture. There's much more. I mean, there's many more black people in that part of downtown Atlanta there where it's by. But I just like the vibe. I went to a bunch of cool, fun bars. I like that city. It's a fun place, and it doesn't. No offense, I don't know I'm in Georgia when I'm there.
Yeah.
Because Georgia is not Atlanta, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's kind of how, like Chicago's not really Illinois either. When I go back home, I'm like, Chicago. If you drive an hour and a half south, 2 hours south,
You're in a different
you're in
place.
fucking farmland. It doesn't feel like, But anyway, Atlanta, but this weekend, when this is out, this weekend I'm going to do Kansas City and St. Louis. The Midwest, baby.
Are you doing the improv in DC?
No, I'm doing the Warner Theater, and then,
I forgot you're
doing
a
some theaters.
theater boy.
I'm doing some. In Chicago on February 5th. If anybody's in Chicago, I'm playing the Chicago Theater for the first time in my life.
Wow, that's been like a long time coming.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because did it get postponed because of COVID?
It did.
Yeah, because I remember you talking about it so long ago.
Yeah, it did. They offered it to us, and then I was in Chicago when we finalized the deal, and I was like hugging my mom, saying like hello to her, and I just sent the text in the car that we were going to do it. I was like so ecstatic, and no shit, within like an hour, Mayor Lightfoot announced that.
That's his actual name.
It's a woman.
Oh.
We have a gay black woman as our mayor. Do you know this?
Okay.
People don't really like her.
Oh.
A lot of people are mad at her.
Typically
For being,
that happens.
Black and gay.
Yeah.
No, she announced that venues of 500, they had to be shut down. That was the literal last day that I could perform, and then it shut all down. So then we canceled Chicago. So February 5th, I'm back. It's a lot of seats. It's 3,800 seats.
So get your goddamn big asses.
Get your tickets, please. You can sit. Somebody already right away. The Al Capone's booth got bought right away.
Oh, that's the thing?
Yeah, the guy told me that people know, like Chicago people know, as rumors which one it is. It's the far left booth. If you're looking at stage, it's far right. But apparently he used to go in that booth, Al Capone, and watch shows. And I asked, why was it so close to the door? Wouldn't he want to be in like a better? It's not really the best angle.
Yeah.
But he's like, it's closest to the exit so he could get out. And I said, oh, if one of his enemies is there to kill him? And he said, no, the police, because across the street was the first building with a elevator that could have a car go from street level to underground.
Wow.
Yeah. So he could escape. His buddies let him escape. We need gangsters again like that.
I know.
I like that.
There's no good gangsters.
Yeah, and because they didn't kill random people.
It was very calculated.
Yeah, they knew who they were killing, and they killed exactly the person that deserved to be killed.
And it makes people come correct. You can't be fucking up.
Get your shit together, bud.
Yeah.
Pay up.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode. Quick shout out to Eat Dough. It's spelled DEUX. Very fancy, very chic. If you don't know them, they make really great cookie dough. They use clean ingredients. You can eat the cookie dough raw, which I honestly prefer, but it also tastes great if you bake it, and it's very easy. It takes like 7 minutes. They have really great flavors. They have chocolate chip, birthday cake, and brownie batter that are really, really yummy, and they won't give you that sugar crash, and you can feel good about eating it. And I like to say they're my skinny cookies. It's kind of like when I go to McDonald's and instead of getting a double quarter pounder, I get a regular quarter pounder, and I'm like, this is my skinny burger. This is kind of that for me. It's my way to eat cookies and then feel like a sexy model after. You can bake them. You can eat it straight from the jar. You can do it at all hours of the day. I give you my permission. But it uses really great ingredients, and they're doing something very cool. They're giving us an exclusive discount. This is your time to try it. Browse all the flavors, browse all the options. They never do this. They're giving us 20% off and free shipping with code RESTING, RESTING, at www.eatdough.com. That's spelled EATDEUX.com. Promo code RESTING for 20% off. You can also buy them in person at select retailers in New York. You can get them at Air One Markets, Foxtrot Markets, or on the Fast AF app. Trust me, you gotta try it. Everything's vegan, gluten-free, soy-free, and there are no shady ingredients in that. It's really good, and it'll make you feel good about yourself, in my opinion. I know that's how it makes me feel. Try Eat Dough. My mom, she hoards them in her freezer at home, and then we just take them out whenever I come over and scoop it up, eat it up. Go to eatdough.com, EATDEUX, code RESTING for 20% off and free shipping. Back to the podcast.
Man, what a cute pup. Oh my God, when they do that.
I know, I love when
When Cubs does that, she goes like this. She goes, she like shakes her. You can hear her go, she shakes it out.
It's so annoying when you get a dog how stupid you become.
Oh, dude, it's the best. It makes you more human than you've ever been because you operate on this plane of worry and scheduling and planning and life and bullshit, and then you talk to a dog for a couple hours at the end of your day, and it humanizes you again. You realize we're just cave people who just got good at figuring out stuff.
When you're walking your dog, do you like make eye contact with people walking by to see if they...
Absolutely not.
No.
I don't want to talk to people.
I'm in the phase where I'm talking to everyone.
Yeah, you will get over it because people will want to come and touch the dog and talk to the dog. But look, in my neighborhood, I live in a little neighborhood where we know all of our neighbors with dogs. So, you know what I mean?
Not as...
No, I don't see strangers in my neighborhood.
That's
really.
also the nice thing about having this dog. He's not particularly like a hot, sexy dog, so no one's really rushing to come over and pet him. No one has said, "Oh, that's a cute dog."
Well, that is a cute dog. I think hot, sexy dog. Right? No, he's not. He's more of like.
He's like a personality dog.
I would say cool pup.
Yeah.
He's a character actor for sure.
Yeah.
You know, he's like Daniel Day-Lewis. He's not a male model, but man, is he good at what he does.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even know if he's good looking.
Daniel Day-Lewis?
I don't know. Do you know? I don't know what he looks like without all the stuff. He's always in something.
Yeah.
So
a
who
top
is he?
hat, I feel like, for some reason.
Lincoln.
Always. Yeah.
But he's always got some kind of vibe where I don't think you really get to see who he really is. That's your dog.
That's
He's a character actor.
I want to ask you some questions from...
Oh yeah, tell me. Your phone has always been broken, by the way. I don't think I've ever seen you without a broken phone.
I just broke this.
Did you break your old phone?
Probably.
Yeah. I think you've always had a broken phone.
Well, that's just I live loose and fast, and you live secure and steady.
Not loose anymore, right? We're tight now. We're only tight for one papa.
We're not tight after this man plows
he peels it apart, this guy.
He's got the monster.
For some reason, my brain went to those videos on TikTok where they unclog a pipe, you know, and it just everything rushes out. Oh, those are my favorite videos.
Okay.
Give it to me.
Favorite memory you've never shared from filming Dave, says Bianca Carson, who is Gene Pompa's daughter.
I love Gene Pompa.
Fact.
Seriously?
I grew up. My mom lived in in a townhome and
Yeah.
Gene Pompa lived there, and his daughter is my age, so me and her hung
Is Gene
out.
from Southern California?
I don't know where he's from.
He doesn't. He feels like an East Coast guy.
I know.
Gene Pompa, very funny. What a good dude. Okay, so read the question again. What's my favorite? What is
Memory you've never shared from filming Dave.
it? My favorite memory I never shared. I don't know if it's a. I will say not memory, but like not like emotional thing, but we filmed a day. We did it. We did a remake of the freshman five. You know, like this. What was it? Not the Source. Who is that? What am I saying? What is it? XL. Yeah, double XL. And there's a bunch of these rappers came from Dave's actual double XL freshman class.
Oh, wow.
Most of them. I don't think everybody showed up. I don't really remember who was all on it in the original, but the one thing that blew my mind was certain rappers you think are stupid, for lack of
Sure.
it. You're like, this guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
I hear him, he sounds like he's, and I don't want to single anybody out, but I spoke deep philosophical conversations with a particular rapper that blew my fucking mind. Like, he was so like in tune with how he felt about spirituality and the universe. But traditionally, this gentleman talks about pussy and hoes. And
That's what people say about me. They go, I went to Allie's comedy show. All she talked about was her pussy and hoes.
You are big, but look at my pussy, look at my pussy.
But then after the show, I talked to her, and man, she...
It was, but it just, I guess it because I was prejudiced. I assumed that he was just a rapper and all he cared about was like money and bullshit. And we sat for like 2 fucking hours on a lunch break and we spoke about like literally spirituality, about relationships. It was like love. It was so kind of enchanting to me. And that was kind of my most powerful moment because the show fucking sucks. No, because the show for me was so contained.
Yeah.
It was me and Dave, or me and Gaeta, or me and Taco, rarely. But like, I wasn't in the shows when it was like Justin Bieber and Kylie Jenner. I didn't do any of those days.
And also, big shout out to you for introducing me to Justin Bieber and making my childhood dreams come true.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh,
You're
best hug of my life.
It was a big, tight hug, wasn't
And
it?
it was one of those hugs where at first he wasn't sure if he was going to go in for the hug. And then he was like, what the fuck? I might as well.
He asked me if you were my daughter.
Yeah.
He said, is that your kid?
He said, she's ugly. It must be your spawn.
Well, I was trying to give you something nice. I was trying to say that you look young and vibrant and
thank
beautiful, but thanks for flipping it on me. So Gene Pompa's daughter, I love your father. And that's one of my favorite memories was just speak. I just don't want to talk about people's names, but
Was this rapper someone who you listened to before? Or were
yeah,
you,
I
like,
enjoyed his
familiar?
music. Yeah, I like his music.
And
yeah.
then did it make you like his music even more after having
It just
that
made me appreciate
conversation?
and you know what it really did? I'm being genuine. It's not, there's no comedy in this. Is like, it made me be like, you can't fucking judge these people. You don't know these people.
That's like, do you know
can't,
that?
you can't judge any of people think they know us because we do this. You don't fucking know who we really. You don't know what I really love, what I really hate, where my heart is. You're never gonna know that about people until you really get to sit and talk with them. So it just made me go, dude, you don't fucking know. Some of these rappers may have some. I mean, really, maybe that's just a game they play in the music world, and they may be deep, beautiful people.
My favorite thing is meeting an aspiring rapper. Like, I was friends with some of these like rappers, and
When you mean friends, you mean?
Don't worry about how I know them, but watching them write music, watching them write rap songs before they're famous is the best experience ever because it's almost like they're manifesting.
Right.
Like, shit on white witch women all you want, but the rappers are doing the same thing. They're like, I got picked up in my limo and I went to the club. I got in the car and popped on the dubs or whatever.
Yeah, that was good.
And I'm like, you have no car. You're sleeping on your friend's floor.
Right.
And it's manifesting.
You have to manifest. Well, comics do the same thing.
Yeah.
We pretend like we've had all these wonderful, amazing, in-depth experiences, but we're just boring, sad people that are in small buildings most of the time.
Next question.
Yep.
Dream home if you moved back to Chicago, like house style area, view, near restaurant, etc.
I'm probably
from
going to
Tom
move back to
Bosco.
Chicago at some point, and I will tell you, it's not a home. I want to live. I want to live in a high rise again.
Yeah.
Back to my childhood. My dream would be to live in a penthouse with 360 views of that beautiful city. And if I can only have 180, just the lake, baby. I want that lake in the morning. I want to see it when it's frozen, and I want to face north, and I can see it in my mind. And I want to live specifically. I want to live in Trump Tower because greatest president we've ever had, greatest man that's ever been lived. I guess.
Amen.
Amen. God bless.
I
God
posted
bless.
on my Instagram story. I was in DC,
Mhm.
and I was like looking. They have such cool architecture around the city, and I was
Beautiful.
looking at this building, and I'm like, that's the most beautiful building I've ever seen. And I recorded myself looking at this building in awe, and then I flipped the camera, and it said Trump Tower, and I flipped the camera back to me, pretending to cry, like I'm not allowed to enjoy
you're not
the
allowed to
building.
like it?
No, I'm gonna
No.
get canceled.
But they'll just that's the thing about Trump Tower in Chicago is people like boo it, and you're like, that's just his name on that. That's like it's crypto.com arena. It's not Staples anymore. It's
Yeah.
not his building, is it?
You not staying there or having some disdain for it isn't making him
Does nothing.
less
It does
powerful.
nothing to the greatest president that's ever lived that we
Hmm.
all have to vote for
in
in
2024.
2024. Please, we got to get him back.
We
What are
can't
we
let
waiting
Hillary
for?
win.
She's not going to run, but I think it's probably going to be all jokes aside, I bet you Kamala will run.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. I don't know so, but I got a little hunch.
Yeah.
He will never run again. Trumpet Dump will never run again, but I think she'll run again, but I think her competition will be a woman. I think for the
Oh,
first
I
time
would
we'll
like
have
that.
two women running at each
I would
other.
love that.
I think so. I have this weird feeling about it just because I'm like, the Republicans have to be gunning up with their version.
Tommy
they have to.
Lahren, could you imagine?
Tommy Lahren could come close. What's the other there's another what's that other woman? I see her sometimes. She's nuts. She's like she's all over the internet, like the pro.
Caitlin? Is that her name? It's like
God, I see her all the time now.
the girl who goes to like school campuses. She's too young.
Well, yeah, they all do that with the young Republicans or
Yeah.
whatever. Which also, Allie and I are big proponents of young Republicans. Please donate. Right there, the link should be right there below.
My mom has a question for you. Why did Allie have to wait over a year for Santino to be on her podcast?
Because your mother knows nothing about the business and timing. And take a note, Mom. Because Daddy is busy and Daddy wants to wait for the right moment. And guess what? It is the right moment. You know what's so funny is that people used to ask if they could ask to be on Rogan's podcast. And I don't even remember who said this, but sometimes somebody was like, "Oh, when you're ready, like he'll ask you."
Yeah.
And everybody wants it early. And for some reason, when I got on the show, it kind of was the perfect timing. I had wanted to be on before, but I never asked. And then when he asked me on, it was almost like, oh yeah. I guess the timing. I think the timing of it always is a thing. But you've been on my podcast.
Yeah, my mom's
So,
also the type of person.
What are you talking about, babe?
My mom is so concerned. My mom's like,
I'm in love with your mother, though. We
Yeah,
have a little thing, huh?
yeah, she'd be down.
Could I be your daddy?
Yeah, I would love that.
But she lives down south. It's such a drive.
I know.
I
She'll commute for you.
It's back when people used to have two families. People used to have like another family. They're like men in the 50s would have like two families, and
Yeah.
they drive like 4 cities away. And for some reason, these dumb broad wives would never figure it out.
I was like, he's
These
working a
bozo
lot.
broads.
He's so
Yeah.
busy at work, but
Can't
the
believe they would
money
have,
stays
yeah,
the
they
same.
have kids with, yeah. Anyway, I could be your steppapa.
My
I'll be your
mom always
papa.
asks me, she's like, is Joe going to bring you back on the road? Have you talked to him? Have you talked to Santino? Like, she
pushing.
wants to be the Kris Jenner of my comedy.
She wants to be a momager, but you don't want to pay.
How'd you know it was time to move to LA for your career, says Cole Fletcher?
Cole, I was 22. I was fresh out of college. I had literally nothing to do. It was either come to California and live on a couch in Long Beach and try to do comedy, or go back to Chicago and be scared to get back and get into the workforce.
Yeah.
I was gonna go back to Chicago, just get a job at Old Navy, because I worked for Gap Company when I went home for the first summer. And the woman thought I was a nice boy, and she was like, if you want a job out of college, you need to make money before you figure it out. And I'm not kidding. And I was like, what if I just work at Old Navy for a couple months when I got out of school, when I go back to Chicago till I figure it out?
Do you ever get that thought now? You're like, what if I just picked up
I'm more of a
shift at
banana
Old
guy
Navy?
at this point in my life. I would do Banana Republic because they're part of the Gapco. But I just honestly, I do have moments of wanting to not do this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of moments. I'm in love with comedy. I like comedy and nothing else. I don't like airplanes. I don't like hotels. I don't like traveling. I don't like being away from home. I don't like packing bags. I don't like doing laundry as often as I have to do. I don't like scheduling this much. I don't like going to LAX. I really don't like checking into hotels after a long flight and the room's not ready and you sit in a lobby and you're sad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to do all that stuff. I just want to do stand up. So hurry up, Elon Musk, with a teleport machine. Man, do I want it. I want to teleport. I want right now just whoop and then wake up in my show.
What if it had some crazy severe side effect?
I'd take it. What would it be?
You have to lose both your balls.
Every time I travel?
Every time. You regrow them and it's a really painful process.
I do
But
it.
then every time you travel, chopped off.
That's not even a question. If I could skip hotels and flights and driving and traffic and like the 10 hours that traveling kills, regardless of how long the flight is, yeah, you can take my balls away. How many days did it take to get my nuts back?
Takes like 7 days of excruciating nut
That's a
pain.
long time.
Yeah. That's the price of teleportation.
If it's over an hour or two flight, then yeah, I would do it.
Okay.
If it's just to the Phoenix, no, I'll keep my nuts and I'll do
I
the
know,
flight.
I feel like I'm finally at that point where it sucks having to travel. Like before, I was like, this is so cool. I'm a working comic. I get to go. I get to pretend I'm at the airport being a big girl.
You are a big girl.
I know.
No, the only thing we love is physically doing it. The other stuff is terrible. But what was I saying? I moved to LA because I didn't have a choice. I wanted to be in comedy so bad, and I lived on a couch in Long Beach, and I drove up every single night to the Comedy Store to either just hang out or to try to do shitty open mics at coffee shops. So it wasn't like a
Kind of a similar start to me. The old Long Beach commute.
Long Beach commute, baby. The LBC,
Take
baby.
that 405 to the 101.
Or the one, or the
Five?
No. The what's the
710?
free 710? Yeah, the 710. That was my other little sneaky peeky.
Best experience on mushrooms.
What a cute dog.
While at college in Arizona.
Best experience on mushrooms?
Yeah, but then they got real specific with the while at college in Arizona. Says Shaquille Burrito Neal.
I don't know. Mushrooms were the impetus for me going to Arizona State. That's actually a real story. The kid I went to college with, his cousin was going there. This chick, she was a freshman. She lived in PV, Maine. Those are the dorms that I ended up living in, ironically enough. And he said, "Do you want to go to visit ASU?" And I said, "I do, because I want to go there so bad." And he said, "My dad will take us out there. We'll go visit." And we visited his cousin. His dad was like, "Go have fun. Don't get in trouble." We were supposed to sleep in her dorm, but she had a boyfriend, right? And the big bad wolf didn't want us around because he wanted to fuck. And so he had some mushrooms, and he said, "Dip them in this jar of peanut butter, eat them, and leave," because he was looking to get dirty boy hanky panky. And we ate mushrooms, and we had a couple of beers, and we had one of the best nights I think I've ever had in my life, just wandering around, enjoying life. Like, we couldn't get into bars or anything.
Yeah.
And we were just chumming around, laughing, having great conversation, picking oranges and throwing them. Man, is that fun. If you're ever in Arizona, you could pick an orange, you could throw it as far and hard as you want.
And
no one's
like,
going to get in trouble. It's just an orange. If it hits somebody, it's just an orange, bud. It's not going to kill anybody.
And that's like, you feel like you're an adult because you're
Away.
about to go to college. You're away from home. Like, you get kind of that pseudo experience.
Yeah, it was awesome. And we were picking oranges, getting high, and then we sat and we smoked a cigarette on the back patio of PV Maine, and we were staring at the old football stadium. Well, the football stadium's still there, but we were staring at it, and I'm not kidding. He was like, "We should go to school." And I was like, "We have to go to school here." And that was the final. After that, I decided there was no way I wasn't going to go out west, because I was scared to go west. I wanted to go to California, didn't have the money or the resources, but I thought if we could go to Arizona, I could get to California.
Close enough.
It is. It's a skip, skop, and a gump away. That's the phrase my father used to
Did
use.
you ever consider a blue collar job before pursuing comedy/acting? Says Scott Watermelon.
I mean, I've worked at name a job. I did it. So I did a lot of shit. I mean, in college, I was a bartender. I was a server. I was a bar back. I was a busboy. I was a dishwasher. I was everything but a cook. And then I also worked, at my whole life of job. My first job was McDonald's. Then I was a lifeguard, and then a swim instructor for YMCA. And then I did babysitting. And then I sold, I sold power washing, gutter cleaning, window washing. I did cold calling.
Have you had any people from your life before comedy, like any employers from those jobs or teachers who have like
Come back.
come back or
I don't
gotten
let
in
him in.
contact with?
I don't let him in. My friend, no, the guy that I worked at Sun Devil Telecommunications, those lines that call you when you graduate college, they call you to collect. They're like, hey, do you want to, as an alumni foundation, you know, they collect donations. I did that with a guy, my buddy Frederick, who I'm still friends with today. I just saw him in Phoenix. We're still friends.
That's nice.
But like from the old work days of high school, no. I still contact with a few people from high school.
But like, has anyone come to one of your shows and they're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
don't
somebody
you
came-
remember me from 3rd grade?
People do
Fucking-"
come and they yell stuff out about high school. They'll yell out my high school, or they'll yell stuff, and it's very odd.
Yeah.
And I pretend I didn't hear it.
Nice.
That's what you have to do at comedy when someone says some shit and you know it, and you just have to roll right through it.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Stop?
I just had this dude show up at my show in DC, and after the show he said, hey Allie, we've met before, you might not recognize me. And I said, I don't. And he goes, we were at spring break, SWAT, like Havasu. And as soon as he said that, I was like, did we have sex? That was the first question. And he was like,
Skank.
no. And I was like, okay,
It's
good.
like you fucked all my friends.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I watched.
But it was so crazy seeing him, because there's these people in my head who I'm like, what do I do if they ever come back into my life? And it was
That's-
traumatizing, but also beautiful.
Lake Havasu, by the way, party.
Disgusting.
That's such
that
a
place is
slut. That's slut
gross.
city.
It's so traumatic.
It's hot.
Ugh.
I watched a girl blow a guy who was like passed out on a boat in Lake Havasu.
Yeah,
He was like nodding off, and she was still going at it, and I was like, this poor girl.
that's what feminism is. It's working a job as well as a man, and a man would
A man would
continue.
fall asleep. Yeah, a man would just get lazy.
What is it like? Oh, this is a good one.
Give
I'm
it to me.
curious about
Okay.
this. What is it like filming a masturbation scene? Says Innate Designs.
When did I film a masturbation?
I don't know. Have you ever been filmed? Is there a video of you online? It's just self-produced.
Reddit's just got me in a hotel, just like.
Yeah.
I did kind of, and I'm dying up here. I did a scene where I was jerking off, and I got a phone call that my dad had died. I was jerking off, and they called, and that was the phone call to tell me my dad was dead. It was a dark, twisted show. That show was fucking funny, man. It was, it was shot so that you couldn't really see anything, and it was like so innocuous that I guess my butt's in it. I walk into the kitchen to grab the phone because it was a home phone. But I'll tell you, the funniest scene I ever shot in that thing was my buddy Jake Lacey. Shout out, one of my good buddies. He was hooking up with another actress on the show. They were hooking a great actress, Saoirse Rockmore, and they had this like sex scene. And every time I walked in, his asshole was like right in my face because he was butt naked. He had a
Little sock on his
merkin
dick?
on, but like his butthole you could see his butthole because his cheeks had to be out. So there was a thong, but the merkin in the front because it was a back shot. So you really did see his tush would slip out. His butthole would wink through the thong, and every time I walked in the room, I would stare right at his asshole, and I laughed maybe 4 or 5 times. But it was so fucked up because there are these these privacy, what do they call them? These like privacy people on set because her breasts were out, and women are very vulnerable when they're naked in these weird sex scenes.
Yeah.
So they're closed sets, and they're the privacy people who rush in to cover you up. But of course, not for the guy. Your dick and your balls and your butthole are always out.
Yeah.
And nobody covers you up with a towel. Nobody gives a shit about you.
I think because no one wants to see it.
Yeah, but also like we deserve
everyone
it too.
will see
Equal
it.
rights. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Fuck you
Yeah.
guys. But she would feel a little vulnerable, and I did say to her, I said, I'm not laughing at you. I promise. I know. I hope you don't feel uncomfortable. Jake's butthole is in my eye line. The moment I walk in, I see his butthole, and then we're supposed to have a little joke exchange over his shoulder. But it's hard for your friend to look back at you when you can.
Wow.
I can see his brown eye, and I laughed maybe like 5 or 6 takes. That was like I never usually break for comedy,
Yeah.
and this was a serious scene, kind of. Like I bust in on them doing this thing, and I kind of make an off slide joke, and then I leave, and he's livid. But I broke more on that than I ever broke I broke more in that scene than I broke with like Larry David. It was wild.
But do they give you notes when you're doing a masturbation scene where they're like, "Can you be more into it?" Or like, "Could you be less into
Yeah,
it?"
no, I think I know what I'm doing. They let us fly.
You're a pro.
Yeah.
You're the Daniel Day-Lewis of jacking
I
off.
am the DDL of jerky jerkies.
Um,
No notes. No note. That's what I say. They fly. Notes flying in. I go, no notes. I know what I'm
I
doing.
got this.
Because I know I did this. This is how I jerk off.
All the way up.
Yeah.
Your dick's down here just flaccid and you're like, I'm
Yeah.
doing it. I'm
doing
doing
it. What else could this be? Actually, when I jerk off, I just tug on my balls. I do like that. That's how I jerk off.
Wait, can you do the mouth trumpet?
What song do you want me to trumpet?
I can
I'll
do a
trumpet
mouth
any song.
trumpet.
Let me hear.
Well, now I'm all
Now you
giggly.
can't do it?
Hold on. Yeah, hold
Let's
on.
hear.
I can't have you look at me. Hold on.
I'll look away.
It's gonna sound, when you like hype yourself up.
Yeah, because mine's pretty good.
Yours is really yours has good bass in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. Mine's a very high pitched trumpet. Hold on.
This is so bad. That's so bad. That's like a junior high kid who just got the instrument in band. Play a note. They're like, all right, back of the room.
Okay. Hold on.
I'm first chair, baby.
I can't do it. This is why I'll never make it as an actress because I get
You can't like calm into it.
Yeah, no.
Maybe if I start doing it, you'll do it.
I can't do it. When you leave, I'm gonna record just a clip
Send
of
it.
me trumpeting.
The favorite thing you can do is you do that. You know, they do. So bad. I mean, you're really blowing it. Come over here to the guy who can actually trumpet. Shake. You shake, Papa? No. I'm going to be genuine with you. As much as I love you, that's a terrible trumpet.
It's really good when I'm in the
It's
car.
bad.
It's
Oh, in the
really
car it's
when I'm
good?
in the car.
All right, what's the next question? Are any of these names none of them have been real?
Yeah, Bianca.
Oh, Bianca.
Bianca
The other one was
Carson,
Watermelon.
Tom
The other one was
Bosco.
Shaquille O'Neal.
My mom, Cole Fletcher.
Okay.
How do you feel about clean comics?
I mean,
Do you have any strong opinions?
yeah, no, I'm not. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm like a dirty comic. I do cuss, but I'm not like. I'm not dirty in the traditional sense when as like Andrew Dice Clay. I like clean comics. I used to be jealous. And Neil Brennan and I were talking one time. He's like, "That's just who cares? It's not you." Because I was like, I wish I could learn to write like that. Like Gaffigan, I just had him on my podcast. He's a genius and he's squeaky clean. And you're like, how are you so funny? And it's not offensive or it's not crass in any regard, or he skips over any easy words you could use.
Yeah.
He finds them more clever. It's impressive. Brian Regan, it's very impressive. I would say that. It's not my favorite. It's not the guys that I looked up to when I was a kid, but I'm blown away and I'm always in utter awe of being able to be squeaky clean but still be so fucking smart and funny.
Yeah. I had a great piece of advice. I was talking about wanting to do like a late night set and being like, oh, I got to be cleanish or whatever. And my boyfriend's dad actually used to be a comedy manager, so I was talking to him about it. And he was like, if you're not a clean comic, like, don't try to be that because it's not going to come off. People are going to come see you and they're going to be like, this isn't what, I saw, or you're just not going to feel, you're not going to be in it the way that you normally are.
And you got to stick to who you really are. And sometimes you don't have any control over that, right? Like, rest in peace, Bob Saget, but people thought he was Danny Tanner.
Yeah.
But he was not. He was fucking filthy, dude. You ever saw Bob he'd be talking about fucking the Olsen twins. It was crazy. I was like, what? First time I saw him, I was like, that's what he does? I had no idea. I thought he would be a clean comic, but I like clean comics. I'm impressed by them, and I myself am not. Unfortunately, I'm a
dirty boy.
I'm a bad mouth boy.
What podcast guest had you starstruck? Says Cincy Kid.
None. I haven't really been starstruck, but I tell you, Burr is hard to do podcasts with because I'm such a fan and I love him. He's like kind of the older brother you look up to, so you always feel like everything you say is dumb.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it was with Bill. But
I hate that feeling.
well, it's only because you have such adoration for someone that
Yeah.
you kind of feel a type of way that you're like, ugh, anything I say isn't going to be funny or cool for him. But Burr's probably the guy that I was always like. But other than that, I don't know. I haven't been into. There's nobody that I'm. There's people that surprised me. I will say that. There's people that I thought were interesting people, but then I was even more interested in them afterwards. I had Harlan Williams on again, and his mind is a lightning bolt. He's so fucking funny. He's so wild and out there. He just lets it go. It's great. His brain is kind of like when you drop a Plinko chip, and it just pegs up, and you have no idea where it's gonna go. And I really like that about him.
Yeah.
I fucking love him, but you intimidate me drastically.
Is it because
That's why I didn't do this. This has to answer your mom's question. I didn't do it because I was so scared.
Yeah.
I was so scared.
Scared that I would sexually assault you?
Well, that's why I wanted him here.
Yeah, the buffer.
Because I knew you wouldn't do that in front of him because then I have a witness. And you would be on my side if she essayed me. Yeah. You essay me, bud. I've got
Stick
proof.
with the believe all men. That's what we say.
Well, the phrase is believe two men. It's believe all women, believe two men. If there's more than one man, you got to believe those two men.
Believe 2.5 men. I'm always on Charlie Sheen's side.
Me too.
Yeah.
Is that our 2.5 man?
Yeah.
Are you the half man?
Beans,
so
come here.
Sleepy.
Beans.
Do you have any more questions for me? Is that
There's
it?
one more question. Brian Hewitt asked what venues.
Daddy's got to go to a thing.
What venues would you not go back to, and why is it Stressport in
Why is it Bridgeport in Connecticut?
Yeah.
I didn't have any. It was a bank, and I didn't enjoy the layout, and it's super high ceiling. Did he say that?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. I have no beef with that place. I don't want to do it. It was the ceilings are way too high. I felt very lonely and sad.
Yeah.
I also had a health thing going on while I was there, so it lays in my mind about my health thing that happened to me there. I had one of the worst cases of prostatitis I've ever had in my life.
What the fuck is that?
It's an infection in your prostate.
Whoa, how was that?
Insane. It's so crazy. It hurts so much when you piss, when you cough.
How does that come up?
It's a myriad of things. I mean, this is bacteria that gets into your, you know what I mean? It could be from me poking the old bag and her not having a clean gush, which is typically the case. She's always slapping around in the mud, that pig.
Yeah.
No, but I do have weird prostate problems. Like I've had them for years. So I get prostatitis, and I had a bad bout while I was there, and I was already in a bad mood, and the ceilings are 50 feet high. It's an old bank, and I don't like performing in an old bank.
It's nice to be at a place in your career where you can say, I'm not going back there.
I might need to at some point. So I'm not going to write it off.
Yeah.
I never know.
I will be back, maybe.
I'll be back. Just give it some time. I just, but what was it? What was the question? What other gig would I never go back to?
Yeah.
I'll never go back to Governors in Long Island. Me and that guy got into an argument, the owner.
About what?
He had people talking in the room that he was friends with. The owner.
That's so annoying.
I was like, you're not going to kick those guys out. He's like,
so good at handling those situations.
This one was bad. I was young and I was upset. And I was just really lonely and sad that I was out.
That's even crazier that you were young, because I feel like at that point you have more to lose.
I did, but at that time I just got New York Comedy Festival. It was 2009 or something like that. And I said, he was like, you handled that so unprofessionally. I said, dude, you had let people talk the whole show that were friends with you. You run a comedy club. And he said, you'll never come back here. And I said, that is not a threat.
Yeah, you're like, thank you.
That's not a bully move. I don't want to be back here. Fine. That's how you feel. So I'll never be back there. Sorry, Long Island.
Thanks for coming on my podcast.
I love
finally.
you. I love you. I love this dog. And we end the episode the same way. We do a trumpet to get us out. Ready? Yours is good.
So bad.
Can you Pink Panther? That's fun, right? But you gotta go.
How do you do the little roll?
Your tongue is good. You go like this, and then no go. Now go.
It's not gonna happen.
Just go and then close it. I love you.
Go to andrewsantino.com.
AndrewSantino.com and come see me live, baby. AndrewSantino.com. All over the country.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Oh!